you're looking at all of this, what's happening from a Voting Rights Act perspective, because you wrote this whole great book about, Roberts mostly just taking a battle axe to this thing and chipping away at everybody's right to vote. So looking at what you've seen so far, because there's been a couple of Supreme Court decisions, one of them in Virginia where they said it's okay to set these ballots on fire. Another one today from Pennsylvania that was on our side that said, no, you can't just knock out provisional voting. What have you seen along those lines, and what should people be looking for?
I think what we have seen from this court is a clear indication that they will be willing and ready to serve Donald Trump and the Republican Party if the election is close and if it comes down to it. If you look at this decision from Virginia earlier this week, it's one of the most outrageous and lawless decisions that I've seen from this court on voting rights. And that's saying something, given that John Roberts literally made up the rationale for the Shelby County decision and what Sam Alito did in the Brnovich case, in which he just rewrote Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act as he wanted it to read. There is something called the National Voter Registration Act. It was passed in 1993. It's been the law for 30 years. It is settled law in this country that says you cannot, within 90 days of an election, purge voters willy-nilly from the polls. And Virginia, on the 90th day before an election, decided it was going to do exactly that. It was going to target 1,600 voters and claim that they were potentially non-citizens. Well, this is nonsense. Virginia has a terribly confusing form that sucks lots and lots of people up into accidentally not checking the box that they need to check. So it's a poorly designed form to start with. Many of the people who perhaps checked that they did not hit that box have since become citizens. We've all seen the media reporting from hundreds of people who were sucked into this by absolute accident. They are citizens who've been voting forever. And this is what they want to do. And the Supreme Court overruled the decisions of two lower courts that said, yeah, you can't do this 90 days before an election. There's a really good reason why we're protecting people's civil rights by not allowing that. And this court said, no, go right ahead. They ignored the statute. They disregarded the statute entirely. And it's a signal to every other state that John Roberts and Sam Alito and Brett Kavanaugh, you do what you want to do. We've got your back.